Hello everybody. In this video we're going to discuss a bunch of different concepts with the goal of achieving a simple task, and that is, if we are given a list of results in a search engine, namely Google search engine, and we know that each page of Google search results gives us links to 10 different relevant pages. What our goal is for this video is to actually take the results and somehow copy them and do something with those results programmatically, meaning we need to do it from JavaScript. Now, in order to be able to do that, we need to discuss a bunch of foundational concepts, and that's what we're going to do today. So we'll start with objects in JavaScript. And to define objects, we have one quick and easy definition. And that's basically the most simple definition, and you don't have to go any further than that, which is that a JavaScript object is a bunch of key value pairs. With curly brackets, we're going to make a new object literal, and we're going to have a bunch of key value pairs. Here I'm highlighting each one right now. We can even have a key that we name any way we like, and then the value is actually a function, which is one of the proofs that functions are so-called first-class citizens in JavaScript, meaning that a function has the same status as any other data type, basically. We can pass those values around, we can give them to other functions, we can give them to objects as values for some keys, and so on and so forth. So now we've given our JavaScript engine another object we called person, and to access any of these keys, we can simply type person.age, person.name, and so on and so forth. If we want to run this function, this anonymous function right here, we simply call the key. So we say person dot refer to formally, and we also need to give it a pair of opening and closing parentheses at the end, and of course it gets run. So that's basically the objects in JavaScript, the very basics of the objects in JavaScript. And there's just a few minor technical terms that we need to mention. So basically, each key value pair is referred to as a member. If a member's value is not a function, it's referred to as a property. And if it is a function, it's referred to as a method. So if we just type the person, we get back the entire object. And with the dot operator, the property accessor, we access different parts of the object that we defined. So if we want to call just some kind of a property, we type person.name, person.age. If we want to run a method, we type person.methodName and follow it with a pair of parentheses. And that's basically it as far as objects go in JavaScript. So we'll move right along with arrays. What do we use arrays for in JavaScript? What are arrays? The best way to describe that is to say we want to go shopping and we want to define shopping items. So we say var item 1 equals bread. Var item 2 equals milk. Var item 3 equals tomato, and so on and so forth. So if you think about trying to loop through each of these variables and append some information to it, saying, for example, don't forget to buy, don't forget to buy bread, don't forget to buy milk, don't forget to buy tomato, whatever. Any operation on these variables, that would be kind of difficult because we have different variables to deal with. So is there a way to make this easier? And actually there is. The best way to do it is with arrays, because arrays allow us to group things in lists. So instead of having to define different variables and assign some values to these different variables, we can simply make a new array. A new array literal is created using the square brackets. Here they are. And basically, let me just make this a little bit taller. Let's clear the console so we have more space. And basically we say var groceries, and I will put inside square brackets all of those items that we just listed. So we got bread, we got milk, we got tomato, we got onions. Alright, so now we can just say for I equals 0, I is less than groceries dot length, I plus plus. And now we can simply list out the contents of the console, all the groceries, by saying groceries I. Alright, so if you watched the previous video where we've discussed some for loops and stuff like that, this should seem pretty natural to you and come easy. So let's just run it, and there you have it. Your array is being printed to the console. Alright, so we can also do some other things. For example, a nice little exercise that we can do is we can actually see if our groceries list has a certain item. So let's check if we can find milk inside our groceries list. So let's just copy this code right here. After pressing enter, we can see that the console gave us this information: milk found in the list at position 11. And that's probably not what you wanted to do. What happened here is that basically a string and number got concatenated together, and instead of actually adding two numbers, JavaScript engine converted the I here into a 1 as a string, and then appended another 1 as a string to it, so we got 11. And what we actually want to do is get a number 2 out of that here, because, as you know, or if you don't know, I'm going to tell you right now, arrays are actually counted from position 0. So it goes 0, 1, 2, 3. So all the items here are accessed with starting from 0, but we want a human understandable count. So we want to make the array start counting at 1, and then milk should be at position 2. And in order to do that, we need to convert the string of I to a number of I. And it's simple to do. We say, for example, var number equals string of 5, and then we can say number num, and giving it number is going to change it from a string, which as you can see is red, to a number which, as you can see, the console colors in the blue color. And that's basically it. That's what we're doing right here in this second console log. So now it's time to switch those console logs. We're gonna comment out the first one that doesn't work, and we're gonna use the one that does work. And now we're gonna see that in our for loop, we're looping over each array member, each item of the array. And once we hit that groceries I is equal to milk, we'll console out milk found in the list at position 2. So that's all there is to it. That's arrays for you right here. And we can move on to the next exercise, which is exercise number 14, where we are continuing to discuss arrays.